A handful of nuts a day. A scientific solution to help adults over 60 maintain muscle strength and prevent physical decline. After age 60, when protein absorption changes significantly, once we reach the age of 60, the body doesn't just age physically, it also undergoes subtle but important biological changes. One of the most critical is a condition known as anabolic resistance. This is when, despite consuming an adequate amount of protein as we did in our younger years, the body becomes less efficient at utilizing that protein to build and preserve muscle mass. This means that for the same amount of protein intake, younger individuals can maintain or even build muscle, while older adults may struggle to preserve the muscle they already have. According to recommendations from international nutrition organizations, adults over 60 should increase their daily protein intake by 50% compared to earlier years, equivalent to about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, instead of the standard 0.8 gram recommended for the general adult population. Failing to meet this new requirement leads to a gradual loss of muscle, forming the foundation of sarcopenia, a condition that doesn't just mean muscle loss, but also involves a decline in physical function, reduced strength, impaired balance, and an increased risk of falls. The consequences extend beyond weakness. Simple activities like climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, or carrying groceries can become challenging. More seriously, muscle loss slows recovery from illness, increases the risk of hospitalization, and shortens lifespan. However, it's important to emphasize that this is not an inevitable part of aging. Muscle loss isn't destiny, it's the result of protein deficiency and inadequate physical activity. By providing your body with enough high-quality protein daily, combined with regular movement, you can absolutely maintain your muscle mass, strength, and mobility for many years to come. That's why understanding the true role of protein and proactively adjusting your diet is a strategic move to safeguard your health, independence, and quality of life during this important stage. Eggs are no longer the only option. Nuts offer a more effective source of protein for older adults. For decades, eggs have been seen as the gold standard of high-quality protein. Containing all 9 essential amino acids and boasting high biological value, eggs have been widely recommended for everyone from bodybuilders to seniors. But when viewed through the lens of the aging body, eggs are no longer the only or ideal option. At this stage in life, the digestive system declines significantly. Stomach acid production can drop by up to 40%, making it harder to break down animal proteins, which are dense and harder to digest. For many older adults, eating boiled eggs, lean meats, or dairy can lead to bloating, indigestion, poor absorption, or even loss of appetite. These discomforts can discourage protein consumption, leading to chronic deficiency and subsequent muscle deterioration. In contrast, nuts, often underrated, are proving their true nutritional value, especially for older adults. Just one small handful per day provides not only significant protein, but also a wealth of supportive nutrients. For example, peanuts, 7 grams of protein per 28 gram serving. Almonds and pistachios, approximately 6 grams. Cashews, 5.2 grams. Walnuts, 4.3 grams. In addition to protein, nuts are rich in monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, beneficial for heart health and inflammation control, both of which are critical for aging bodies. The fiber content in nuts also aids digestion and supports regular bowel movements without the heaviness often caused by other high-protein foods. Beyond that, nuts are a rich source of essential minerals such as magnesium, zinc, and selenium, all vital for muscle recovery, neuromuscular function, and slowing the aging process. In particular, walnuts contain significant levels of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce soreness and accelerate recovery after physical activity. Practically speaking, nuts offer unmatched convenience. No cooking required, easy to store, and ready to eat anytime. For older adults who live independently, are often busy, or find meal preparation difficult, a handful of nuts each day is an easy, safe, and effective way to enhance their nutritional intake. In conclusion, while eggs remain a nutritious food, they are no longer the sole or optimal source of protein for individuals over 60. With their diverse nutritional profile, ease of digestion, and additional health benefits, nuts are emerging as a reliable and effective alternative in the strategy to maintain strength, support muscle health, and promote healthy aging. Protein from nuts. A digestible, effective, and senior-friendly nutritional solution. When it comes to daily protein supplementation to maintain strength and muscle mass after the age of 60, most people immediately think of eggs, meat, or milk. However, reality shows that nuts, despite their small size, contain a significant amount of protein, along with notable advantages in digestibility and convenience. With just 28 grams of nuts per day, equivalent to a small handful or roughly the size of your palm, older adults can consume a protein amount comparable to that found in many animal-based foods. Below are the protein contents of some popular nuts. Peanuts, 7.3 grams of protein. Almonds, 6 grams of protein. Pistachios, 6 grams of protein. Cashews, 5.2 grams of protein. Walnuts, 4.3 grams of protein. These numbers are particularly significant for older adults who often struggle to digest protein-rich foods like meat, fish, or eggs due to reduced stomach acid and digestive enzymes. In contrast, the protein found in nuts is more digestible, causing less bloating, discomfort, or gas. Especially noteworthy is pistachios, which are officially recognized by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, as a complete protein. This means pistachios contain all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks that the body cannot synthesize on its own and must obtain from food. This is an exceptionally rare feature among plant-based foods. When evaluated using the DIAAS, Digestible Indispensable Amino Acid Score, a modern index that measures protein quality based on amino acid absorption and digestibility, pistachios score 83%. For comparison, eggs, considered the gold standard of protein, score 100%, while many plants such as wheat only score between 40% and 50%. With such an impressive score, pistachios are not only a high-quality protein source but also nearly match the biological value of eggs, yet without causing digestive distress, containing no cholesterol, requiring no cooking, and offering long shelf life and portability. Beyond protein, nuts are packed with essential nutrients such as healthy fats, omega-3 and omega-9, fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, iron, and antioxidants. All of these contribute to muscle recovery, heart health, digestive support, and nervous system function. Why nuts are more suitable than eggs for older adults. After age 60, the digestive system naturally begins to decline. One of the most notable changes is a reduction in stomach acid production by up to 40%, along with an average 6% decrease in the body's ability to absorb protein. This explains why digesting animal proteins, such as boiled eggs, lean meat, or fish, becomes noticeably harder. Many seniors experience bloating, indigestion, loss of appetite, or discomfort after eating these traditionally protein-rich foods. On the other hand, nuts offer a gentler and more suitable solution for the aging digestive system. Nuts contain protein that is released gradually, a mechanism known as sustained amino acid delivery, meaning amino acids are absorbed slowly over several hours rather than all at once like with eggs or meat. This steady absorption process reduces the burden on digestion and creates a consistent supply of nutrients for muscle maintenance throughout the day. For seniors who need constant nourishment of their muscle tissues to prevent age-related muscle loss, this is a critical advantage. In other words, nuts are not only easier to digest, but also more biologically efficient in meeting the nutritional needs of the aging body. More than just a protein source, nuts offer powerful anti-inflammatory support, muscle protection, and overall health benefits. When people talk about the nutritional value of nuts, they often focus only on protein. However, nuts are not only an excellent source of plant-based protein, but also a micronutrient treasure trove packed with vital compounds that play a critical role in protecting muscle, reducing inflammation, and supporting recovery, especially in older adults. One of the best examples is walnuts among the few plant-based foods that naturally provide omega-3 alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Just 28 grams of walnuts, about 7 nuts, provide up to 2.5 grams of plant-based omega-3 second, which have been shown in clinical studies to reduce muscle damage from physical activity by up to 30%. This is especially beneficial for seniors trying to stay physically active, as it helps relieve muscle soreness and promotes quicker recovery after light exercise. Next is the Brazil nut, the plant with the highest natural selenium content. Just one Brazil nut per day provides the entire recommended daily intake of selenium for adults. Selenium is crucial for maintaining a healthy immune system and is the primary building block of glutathione peroxidase, a key antioxidant enzyme that protects both cells and muscles from free radical damage. Almonds also play an important role in muscle health due to their magnesium content, a mineral vital for neuromuscular function, muscle contraction, and the prevention of cramps, weakness, and fatigue, which are common in those over 60. Just 28 grams of almonds provide about 25% of the daily magnesium requirement, directly supporting the musculoskeletal system. What's especially noteworthy is that when compared to animal-based foods like eggs, meat, or dairy, these micronutrients are either absent or present in very low amounts. For instance, to get the same omega-3 content found in 28 grams of walnuts, you would need to eat 15 eggs, and to match the selenium from a single Brazil nut, you'd have to consume over 4 eggs along with a significant amount of dietary cholesterol. In other words, if you only focus on grams of protein, you're overlooking an entire ecosystem of essential micronutrients that nuts uniquely provide. For older adults, this isn't just about nutrition. It's a comprehensive strategy to support muscle protection, inflammation control, recovery, and long-term quality of life. Clear scientific evidence: nuts help maintain muscle and lower risk of physical decline in adults over 60. In the context of rapidly aging populations, one of the greatest challenges facing older adults is how to maintain mobility, muscle strength, and independence in daily life. Fortunately, modern nutritional science has proven that incorporating nuts into the daily diet offers significant benefits not just biochemically, but also in terms of tangible quality of life outcomes. A long-term and important study known as the Framingham Offspring Study, an extension of the famous Framingham Heart Study, found that adults over 60 who consumed an average of 1.25 servings of nuts per day had significantly higher skeletal muscle mass than those who did not eat nuts regularly. While the difference in percentage may seem small on paper, in clinical practice, even a modest gain in muscle mass can mean the difference between climbing stairs with ease and having to pause midway to catch your breath while holding the railing. Another large-scale study from Australia, which followed nearly 10,000 individuals over the age of 70 for several years, discovered that those who consumed nuts daily had a 23% lower risk of severe physical decline, including loss of mobility, the need for help dressing, cooking, or performing basic self-care. These outcomes are not only indicative of musculoskeletal health, but also directly reflect the ability to maintain independence, reduce caregiving needs, and improve overall well-being. Beyond observational studies, intervention trials where researchers directly ask participants to consume a fixed amount of nuts daily and measure the outcomes have further strengthened this body of evidence. In a 12-week controlled trial, older adults who consumed 30 grams of mixed nuts per day, roughly a handful, reported measurable improvements in grip strength, walking speed, and the ability to rise from a chair without using their hands, 3 of the most important predictors of independent living and longevity in older adults. Taken together, both long-term cohort studies and short-term intervention trials lead to a consistent and powerful conclusion. Adding nuts to the daily diet is not only a healthy choice, it is an effective, science-backed, and practical strategy for maintaining strength, muscle mass, and autonomy in the aging process. Debunking 3 common myths about nuts. The scientific truth. Although nuts have long been recognized as nutrient-dense foods, they are still often misunderstood, especially within the senior community. Below are 3 of the most common misconceptions, along with scientific explanations for why they are no longer valid. Myth 1. Nuts are high in calories and cause weight gain. This is one of the most frequent concerns that cause many older adults to avoid nuts. It's true that nuts are calorie-dense, averaging around 160–200 kilocalorie per 28-gram serving. However, large-scale research, including data from over 500,000 individuals across 86 independent studies, has shown that regular nut consumption is not associated with weight gain, increased BMI, or waist circumference. In fact, people who eat nuts regularly tend to have better weight control. Why? Because nuts provide the ideal combination of protein, fiber, and healthy unsaturated fats, three components known to stimulate satiety hormones like peptide YY and cholecystokinin. As a result, you naturally eat less of other foods, reducing your intake of processed items and sugary snacks throughout the day. Myth 2. Nuts are incomplete proteins. It's true that most nuts, with the exception of pistachios, do not contain all 9 essential amino acids in a single serving. However, the concept of a complete protein has evolved significantly in modern nutrition science. Your body does not require all essential amino acids to be consumed in one meal. It only needs them in total across the day. Thanks to the body's endogenous amino acid pool, you can combine various plant-based protein sources, such as nuts, legumes, whole grains, and vegetables, to naturally form complete proteins. So if your diet is varied, say, you have nuts at breakfast, beans at lunch, and whole grains at dinner, your body will easily access all essential amino acids without the need for strict meal planning. Myth 3. Nuts are hard to chew and digest for older adults. Some seniors do have trouble chewing hard nuts due to dental issues, or experience bloating when eating raw nuts. Fortunately, the solutions are simple. Use natural nut butters, unsweetened, unsalted. They retain the full nutritional value but are easier to consume. Soak nuts overnight in filtered water or a light saltwater solution. This traditional method has been shown to improve digestibility by up to 80%, thanks to the breakdown of enzyme inhibitors and the softening of the nut structure. Additionally, lightly roasted or air-dried nuts are excellent options for older adults with sensitive digestive systems. A simple, long-term strategy for adding nuts to your daily diet. Adding nuts to your diet doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. For older adults looking to improve their health, maintain muscle, and enhance strength, just one small, consistent change each day can deliver measurable results. One of the easiest and most effective steps is to consume 30-42 grams of nuts daily, roughly 1 to 1.5 ounces, or simply a handful. Instead of eating them all at once, you can divide this amount into 2-3 servings, eaten at different times of the day to optimize protein absorption and provide sustained nutrients. For example, 1 portion with breakfast, 1 as an afternoon snack, and 1 in the evening mixed into a salad or steamed vegetables. For daily protein support, prioritize high-protein nuts, such as pistachios, one of the rare plant-based complete proteins, peanuts, high in protein and healthy fats, and budget-friendly. Cashews, easy to eat, rich in magnesium and iron. Don't forget micronutrient-rich options for additional health benefits. Brazil nuts, just 1-2 nuts per day, provide the daily recommended intake of selenium, supporting antioxidant activity and immunity. Walnuts, consumed 2-3 times per week, they offer plant-based omega-3 second that reduce inflammation and support muscle recovery. A major advantage of nuts is their convenience and flexibility. No need to weigh or measure precisely. Simply remember that 1 serving is approximately equal to 1 palmful. Nuts don't require cooking or refrigeration and are easy to carry in a bag or small container. This makes them ideal for those who live independently, have busy schedules, or lack time for elaborate meal prep. Moreover, nuts integrate easily into meals without disrupting your usual eating habits. Sprinkle chopped nuts over oatmeal, yogurt, or a morning smoothie. Enjoy as a midday snack, replacing sugary or processed treats. Add lightly roasted or seasoned nuts to vegetables, salads, or brown rice dishes. True value beyond cost. Nuts are a worthwhile nutritional investment for older adults. From a purely financial standpoint, many people might assume that eggs are the cheaper option for protein supplementation. It's true that when comparing the cost per gram of protein, eggs may seem more economical. However, when you consider the full picture, including storage, preparation, added nutritional value, and practical usability, nuts clearly stand out as a smarter and even more cost-effective long-term investment. First and foremost, nuts don't require refrigeration, unlike eggs and meat, which must be stored in the fridge to avoid spoilage. This not only saves electricity but also reduces the risk of foodborne illness, especially beneficial for seniors who live alone, far from their children, or lack proper food storage conditions. Second, nuts require no cooking, prepping, or time-consuming preparation. You can eat them straight out of the bag. For older adults who may no longer be as agile in the kitchen or want to avoid complicated cooking steps, this is a huge advantage. Nuts save time and reduce the risk of burns, oil splashes, or kitchen accidents that are more common in the elderly. More importantly, nuts provide not only easily digestible plant-based protein, but also a long list of micronutrients that eggs simply cannot match. Plant-based omega-3 abundant in walnuts, help reduce inflammation and support heart health. Natural selenium, rich in Brazil nuts, boosts immune function and slows aging. Magnesium, high in almonds and cashews, prevents cramps and supports neuromuscular health. Fiber supports digestion and helps prevent constipation, a common concern in older adults. Antioxidants slow aging and protect cells from damage. If you tried to get these same nutrients from animal-based foods, you'd need to consume 15 eggs to match the omega-3 content of 28 grams of walnuts, 10 eggs to equal the magnesium in almonds, and 4-5 eggs to get the selenium from just one Brazil nut. All told, this would cost more than double, take more time to prepare, and still fail to match the diverse nutritional profile of just one handful of mixed nuts daily. One small daily change, a starting point for lifelong health. Sometimes, the smallest things make the biggest difference. Just one handful of nuts per day, a habit that seems so minor, can spark a powerful chain reaction that transforms the health of older adults. When you consistently add a small amount of nuts to your diet, your body begins to receive all the right nutrients: protein, healthy fats, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals. As a result, your energy improves, you move more easily, sleep more deeply, experience fewer aches, and feel mentally sharper, calmer, and more optimistic each day. This natural connection between nutrition, movement, sleep, and mood is the core of a happy, healthy, and independent life in your later years. And the best part? You can start tomorrow. Simply swap out your usual snack cookies, chips, or pastries for a handful of mixed nuts. Stick to it daily and listen to your body over the next 2-3 weeks. You might be surprised by the noticeable changes: more stamina, less mental fog, and better quality of life. No medication, no big effort, just one simple habit called a handful of nuts each day. Subscribe to our channel for more inspiring, science-backed health content. Thank you for watching.